college students, I think we can all agree that we have a lot of stress and anxiety in our lives. And in the Journal of Health Psychology, Agnes Vandenberg actually found the first experimental evidence that gardening can relieve a lot of the symptoms from acute stress. And Mike Fillen in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute found that cancer patients actually do a lot better with gardening. It improves their diet, their exercise, and it also improves their mental state as well. If that's not enough evidence that gardening can be good for your health, there was a study done by Spring and colleagues in 2012 that found that patients with Huntington's disease were able to improve their movement and their functioning when they started gardening as a hobby. And I actually have a lot of plants in my room. I currently have 6 different plants, and I have had my share of successes and failures. I have definitely had some plants die, but the ones that I have now are doing pretty well. And I just want you guys to know that it's very easy to have plants in your room. It's not hard to maintain them. It's very easy to keep them alive and keep them thriving. As long as you plant it properly, water it regularly, and landscape every once in a while, your plant will definitely do well. So the first step that you want to do and keep taking care of your plant is to make sure that you're potting it right. You want to choose a potting soil that's appropriate for your plant, and I would recommend moisture controlled potting soil that has nutrients in it. I just have noticed that that's normally your best bet. And then once you pick your potting soil, you're also going to want to add some pebbles in with it so that can increase the drainage, and it also helps increase aeration, and it helps your plant get all the gases that it needs and the nutrients in the air. It also will help your plant be exposed to the air more, which is good for you because in 2014, Bhawana Atsnani found that indoor plants, it actually made more of a difference than outdoor plants because they increased the oxygen levels inside, and it's more oxygen for you, which is always good. So it makes a big difference in indoor environments because they're normally unventilated and not perfect. So once you have all your soil and pebbles mixed together and you put it in your pot, you're going to want to make a small indention. Not too big, but just big enough for about 5 to 6 seeds to fit in there. And then you're going to want to cover it with a light layer of soil. If you keep the layer of soil light, that's beneficial because your plant will be able to emerge from that, and it also will help with aeration, and like I was talking about before, it helps the air quality as well. And in 2012, Pegas and colleagues found that plants indoors can decrease air pollution levels significantly, so that's another benefit. In addition to planting it, you're also going to want to water it regularly to keep up with it. And watering can be a big issue because you want to find that happy medium. You don't want to overwater your plants like this. This can be very problematic. And you don't want to underwater as well. If you overwater it, it will cause bacteria and different fungi to grow in the plant, and that's not something that you want. There was a study in Norway by Basili Cheksuga that found that plants that are submerged in water, there was 22 different plant species in the study, and 184 species of fungi were found living on the dead submerged parts of those plants. So you definitely don't want that to happen, which can be avoided as long as you water it properly. You want to water it every 2 to 3 days, and when you do water it, you only want to add about like a tablespoon of water because any more than that will definitely drown it out, and you don't want that to happen. So in addition to improving the health of your plant by watering it, you also want to make it look nice by landscaping your plant as well. And this can be done by just taking out the dead leaves and making sure it always looks nice. Also, you might want to mix up the top layer of soil because when the top layer of soil is mixed up, that helps with the aeration, and it also makes it, a fresh ground for your plant. And if nothing is working and your plant just isn't looking good, you can always replant it in a new pot with new soil, put new water in there, it'll give it a fresh start, which will be very helpful. So as long as you're landscaping along with these other steps, this really should help your plant do well in any environment. Whether it's indoors, outdoors, in a small apartment, in a dorm room, it will always do well. So just once again, you want to plant it with proper potting soil. You're going to want to water it regularly every 2 to 3 days, and you want to landscape it about once a week just to make sure there's no dying leaves in there or anything. So I really encourage you guys to get your own plants in your dorm rooms. It does decrease your anxiety, gives you something to do, get away from your academic stresses, and it really will be something nice just to look at in your room. Thank you.